Hello guys, here we are for the part 4 of the June skill update review. Um, Today we're gonna talk about Paragons and Ranger. Um, I there it seems justified to do a disclaimer before we enter the review. Um, for the Paragon especially. There was today an update, so we are probably 5 days after the patch, or maybe a week. It's hard for me to remember when it was. Um, so like a week ago or something. So it's the 24th of June. So actually, it's quite a bit older than that, probably like 2 weeks. And there was that big skill update, and one of the skills that people were scared the most about, really fast, was Mighty Throw. Since then, we're 2 weeks in. It's been played a lot in every game modes, every PvP game mode, and everybody was clear that it was. Everybody was clear on how good the skill was. It was definitely OP. This was brought to the devs right after the update, but the dev actually commented that they needed more time to see how things shape up. I mean, I'm glad to see that after 2 weeks they realized that um, it wasn't gonna go anywhere other than dominating the meta. So they re-changed the skill, and we're gonna go over that one really fast. Um, Mighty Throw PvP changed recharge time from 0 to 2. So just to read the initial update, they had reduced the activation time from 3 to 1 second, which is insane basically, because that skill does a lot of damage, and as long as you were getting a lot of adrenaline from one way or another, infuriating heat or furious anger or anything that would give you a lot of adrenaline, you could spam that skill on cooldown, throwing hundreds on people. So it was really strong, and it has been dominating the meta for the most part in GvG the last 2 weeks. And it was just changed. So if I would start with this skill, I would initially put it to meme, because it was a really, I mean, it's not why did they touch this. It's fine to touch it. It's more the way they did it. I mean, I could also put it to S tier because that's definitely a meta-changing I mean, a meta-changing update to the skill. But yeah, I'm basically judging how impactful the change is. So I guess it would be an S tier in that case. But since they touched it again, I haven't had time to think too much about it or to touch it. From what I've been reading and just thinking through, I would put it to B probably. I think it looks still pretty good. Looks like a really good skill for Paragons, but it was so strong after the update. Anything would bring it. A ranger, a paragon, a warrior, anything would bring it. Anything that could get um, adrenaline fast would bring it. So was completely busted. I'm gonna leave it to be because this is the latest update we've just had, actually today, or I guess yesterday, depending on if you look at it from American time or European time. So yeah, good. Thank you for reverting, not really reverting, but changing the skill again. All right, without further ado, let's jump into the changes. I'll try to make the video a little bit shorter than the two previous have been. Aggressive refrain, reduce energy cost from 25 to 15, reduce activation time from 2 to 1. So for those who don't know, aggressive refrain is kind of the main skill you would bring on a Paragon. I would say probably 99% of Paragon bars would bring that skill. I mean, Paragon wasn't played at all recent years, but if you would make a bar, you would bring that skill, and it it is a good skill. It was a good skill. It is even better because they buffed it. What they did here is just make the entry cost to the class much cheaper, meaning you are less punished for losing the refrain. So it's an echo. So every time you cast shouts or chants, it would renew. But if you would miss on that, it would stop, and you had to recast it. And recasting a 25 energy skill with a 2 second activation time is not a funny thing, especially for a Paragon. So they made it more entry level. It's a good change. It's a very good change. You don't get punished as much when you use it. I would say very strong change, very important change. Um, you can see in this patch, which we're gonna go over, that they want to bring Paragon back to life, and I completely agree with that move. So good change. Area of Restoration. Reduce recharge from 20 to 10, so half recharge of what we used to have. And the next time a party member uses a spell, that ally gains somewhere between 70 and 90 health. So this does a lot of heal party for the casters in your team. So this was a really great skill back in the day, together with other motivation skills, and it would allow for teams to bring a lot more static defense and static healing in that case, and you could basically, for those who are aware of the metagame, you could basically flag on 8 a lot more than you've been able to do last years. So doing that change just encourages that. It encourages bringing more heals from your midliners and requiring your 8 to stay at main less, which in my opinion is a really good thing to the game. So I absolutely love this change. It is definitely a A tier change. I don't know if it will be a S tier change. I don't know if it will be as good as we hope for to make its place, make the Paragon a place in the meta, but really good change. It means that even if it's not strong enough, you can still cook builds. You can still make builds around these skills. They're playable now. So what else can we ask, right? Aria of Zeal. Reduce energy cost from 10 to 5. Reduce activation time from 2 to 1. Reduce recharge rate from 20 to 10. Again, enormous buff across the board. Less mana, less activation time, less cooldown. That is a straight up boost, a huge one. So basically, the next time your allies cast a spell, they get energy, roughly 5. Um, so it encourages more caster teams, generally speaking. You don't even have to be a main Paragon to use that skill. So you could bring that on any caster and help your team get energy. So insane change, really good change. I love it. Uh, Ballad of Restoration. So the PvE counterpart, we don't really care. The PvP though is reduce the recharge from 30 to 20, and what this one does is not when a party member casts a spell, it's directly when they take damage. So this is kind of a protective anthem. It protects it protects you from damage indirectly because you'd still take the damage, but then you get healed for some of it. So it's another layer of anthem. I mean, I guess you can call them a chant, and really great, really great change. I love it. I absolutely love it. I like they didn't do from 30 to 10 because it would have maybe been OP, but I like it. I think it is maybe a little too weak on the healing part, but great change, amazing change. I'm a fan. I'm gonna be a huge Paragon supporter, generally speaking. Um, so Ballad of Restoration we've done. Cryosphere. Decrease adrenaline cost from 7 to 6. Increase damage from 2531 to 4250. Huge damage buff. And also indirect damage buff because less adrenaline required. Um, amazing skill. Really aggressive elite from a Paragon. It was played at some point in the game. It is a great elite. Really, you're really building a high DPS Paragon when you bring that skill, and It's kind of the counterpart for Eviscerate for Axe Warriors, I would say. So, really great skill and really strong now. I think it wasn't even bad. It's just Paragons was bad. I don't think the skill itself was bad, but no, they made it like much better. So huge change. Uh, I was put it to B because I'm not sure it was needed. I'm not sure it was in need of such a big buff. But still, we're bringing back Paragon to the table, and I like it. Inspirational change. Reduce recharge from 20 to 10. You lose all adrenaline, sorry, and you give adrenaline to the ally you're targeting, up to 8. So they reduce the recharge from half, basically, from 20 to 10, which is a huge buff. It is hard to cook with that skill. Um, I I I want to put it here because maybe someone cooks, but this category is a bit too wide. I think it's a good change. I don't know what for yet. I don't know if it will see play. I don't know if it will have an impact on the meta. Probably not an impact on the meta, but probably maybe it will be played. So I like the change. Interesting change. Hopefully there's no OP things that we didn't think of. Lyric of Purification. Reduce recharge from 20 to 10. The next time an ally uses a signet, that ally lose one condition. Um, sure. Really niche. Definitely C tier. Small change, niche. Good luck finding a build with that. You need your team to have signet. But if your team does have signet, that's not a bad skill. Is it 5 energy? Let's check that together. Um, it's 5 energy. So good skill. Good skill. Mighty Throw, so we've gone over that one. I can skip. The power is yours. Increase the effect time from 3 to 2-4 seconds, and increase regen enemy energy regen from 0-1 to 1-2. So what this does is just give more energy pipes to your team, um, and they did more energy pipes and more time. Which is pretty crazy to be honest. That's a huge source of energy. It's still an elite though. You have to make a Paragon with an elite that is not like support elite when it comes to healing or to damage. It is a big commitment, but it is a lot of energy for your team. So, I mean, great change, honestly. I think the elite was already not even bad, to be honest. And now it's kind of strong, to be honest. I like it. Song of Restoration. It's kind of the same change as Ballad of Restoration, and it kind of does the same thing, if I remember correctly. For 10 seconds, the next time each party uses a skill, so this time it's a skill, it's not a spell, it works for anything. It works for um, signets, it works for adrenaline skills, it works for melees, casters, monks, anything. The party member will gain quite a bit of health, around 100. So huge heal party elite that got his cooldown reduced from 30 to 20. Huge change, huge buff. Again, coming back to what I was saying in the beginning, um, more midline defense is not bad considering the meta game that the game has known for the last 10 years. It's definitely something that has been missing. Stunning Strike. Reduce the adrenaline from 10 to 8. Increase damage from 25-30 to 40-50. So very much like Cruel Spear. Very much like Cruel Spear. The only the only thing it changes is it doesn't give deep wound, it gives a daze. If that foe was suffering a condition. Um, Huge buff. It's kind of weird that you're gonna reduce the adrenaline as well as like augmented damage for a daze skill. Kinda doesn't really make sense to me, but huge buff. This skill is probably good in array now, I would say. Um, I like it. I like it. I think it's a strong change. Yeah, good or meaningful. I don't think. Yeah, I almost feel like this is a bit too strong, but it shouldn't. no problem should occur because of that, so it's alright. Unblockable throw. Reduce activation time from 3 to 1, so very much like Mighty Throw, and reduce the adrenaline cost from 7 to 4. So what unblockable throw does is do more damage and cannot be blocked. Um, as a matter of fact, it was changed as well today to have a recharge time, not of 0 this time like Mighty Throw had, but of 1. So really great change. Um, Really great change. Initially, it was too strong. They reverted. They add some cooldown to it. I think it's a good skill. I don't think it's OP. I don't know if it's good enough to be brought. I low-key doubt it, but maybe it is. So a bit more love to Paragon. I'm gonna rate it pretty good. Zealous Anthem. Recharge from 20 to 10. Zealous Anthem. The next time each ally uses an attack skill, that ally gains 178 energy. Very, very niche. Very, very niche skill. I don't think you can play that in many builds if, yeah, really few builds. That's good buff. Maybe someone cooks. I think the skill was too bad before, but now it's actually good if you have a team that gets around that change, so why not? Okay, let's go over the Ranger changes now. Sorry, I had to type a message. Ranger changes. Reduce energy cost from 15 to 10 on Bob Trap. Um, sure. I did not see that one coming. I don't think it was required. Um, let's look a bit at the skill. 10 mana now and 20 seconds cooldown. I mean, the skill is good now. I mean, the skill was good. The skill is cheaper. Sure, why not? Bestial Mauling. Reduce recharge from 20 to 10. So this is a pet attack. Your animal companion attempts a bestial mauling that deals 5 to 20 damage. If the attack strikes a knockdown foe, that foe is dazed. So really spammy. From 20 to 10 is really spammy. It's another buff to day skills. The devs have been pushing day skills since the first update they did a couple months ago. They've been pushing day skills really hard. Um, and that's another attempt to see them play. Why not? Why not? Honestly, I think that skill is really hard to in practice to actually make it work because you have to time the pet auto attack with the knockdown. It's really clunky. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it needed this kind of buff. I'm not really a fan of this one, to be honest. Maybe someone cooks though, but I'm not a believer. Broadhead Arrow. Reduce energy cost from 15 to 10 and recharge from 15 to 10 as well. So again, a day skill. That arrows move slower than normal, and if it is the target is dazed. And if the target was casting a spell, um, that spell is disrupted. Another buff to daze. I think that skill was definitely too bad. Nobody would ever play it. And now it's better. Um, is it good enough to be played? I highly doubt it. Bringing a ranger is already quite a commitment. Bringing a ranger with that elite seems like a lot of cooking. So I think it's kind of an irrelevant change, but it makes it better, so why not? Disrupting Lunge. Reduce recharge from 20 to 10, so very much like Bestial Mauling. Your animal companion attempts that attack, does a little bit more damage, and if the attack if the foe was using a skill, that skill is erupted and disabled for 20 seconds, for additional 20 seconds. So this is basically erupt, but how can you time that with a pet? It seems super clunky again. I'll have to put that in D tier because I think all these things are clunky. I think when you require speed to the effect, like I have to hit someone knockdown, I have to erupt him. I think those skills are not really good. I think they only are good when it just says do more damage, cripples, and this kind of stuff. So not a fan, and I don't think it's a huge change. Maiming strike, remove condition to hit a moving foe and apply cripple if the attack hits. So before, I don't know that skill too much, I'm not gonna be honest. But before, I'm guessing if the foe was moving, the foe was crippled when that attack hit. And now, if that attack hits, period, the guy gets crippled. Which is a really good buff. Like, that's really good. That's impactful. That's an impactful one. That's a you can feel that one probably for the people that play minion. I mean minion, more like pet. I like it. Um, okay, so Melandrus shots. Melandrus shots. I've heard stories about that skill that it was not nerfed. So the recharge rate, they say the recharge rate went from 8 to 12, but apparently it's still 8. So let me explain you. If this went from 8 to 10, it would be meme tier or D tier, meaning why did they do that? Why did they kill the skill? They shouldn't have touched it. It's a good skill, don't touch it. It's not OP at all. There's easy counterplays. Don't do that. Leave it as is. But apparently the actual in-game cooldown did not get touched. Or so I'm reading in game right now. Um, so I'm not gonna rate that skill. I'm actually gonna rate that skill. Just in case they come back to the change, this is my rating of the change. Really bad change. If they don't touch it in the end, then great. I don't really have to rank it, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pounce reduce recharge from 15 to 10. So pounce, what did it do? Sorry. Your animal companion next attack deals 20 damage. If the attack strikes a moving foe, that foe is knocked down. So it goes in together with the bestial mauling, I guess. Um, Reduce recharge from 15 to 10 becomes spammy. I would say it's a good change. It's a good change. If I yeah, okay, sure. Maybe 12 seconds would have been better. Maybe 10 is a little bit OP. I don't know. Um, but you know, why not? In GvG, it's really hard to play with pets, generally speaking. So not super impactful changes, but surely buffing them can make them more relevant. All right, on to the next part, which is gonna be long but fast because all you see here are spirits. Okay? And they say reduce nature ritual activation time from 3 to 2. Affects yada 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 all of them. This is all of them here. Um, they already buffed spirits recently. I think if I'm not mistaken, most of spirits were 5 seconds and they put it to 3 seconds casting time. They also buff the range of the spirits heavily. It went from like half a compass to almost a full compass or something like that, which is a huge buff. And together with the 5 seconds to 3 second activation time, huge buff. And when they hit with that update, another buff to spirits. when one of the most meta and most powerful builds is called Spirit Way, and it is a little bit OP right now because how strong the spirits are and how easy they are to place. And we didn't need that buff. What I mean by that, if they did not change the spirits, the build will still be OP. And now they made it even more easy to play, which makes the build even more OP, a build that is already an S tier build. So really questionable change. I don't know why they did that. They already buffed the spirits so much, the ranger spirits that is. They already buffed them so much. Why would they buff them even more? It does not make any sense. This is really questionable change, honestly. In this whole update, one of the most questioning change on the whole patch. I don't like that. And where you're gonna watch me put all of these changes to the meme tier. Maybe some of them are not meme because they needed a little bit of love, but I will all put it to meme because the whole change is not a good change. You could address a couple spirits that maybe needed more love, but not all of them. Some are completely OP, like Frozen Soil, Nature's Renewal, Tranquility, like Primal Echo, I mean, other spirits basically are already super strong, and you didn't need to give them such a huge buff. So really bad change. We started really good with the Paragon changes. As you can see, they're all C and above, like really strong changes. And now we are left with all the meme tiers changes to spirits. So a little bit unfortunate. I hope they go back to their decision and nerf the spirits a little bit. If they want to keep the activation time, sure, maybe touch the range of the spirits or change the duration of the spirits. I don't know. Do something because they're a bit too strong right now. So here's my take on the update. Next time we will talk about Ritualist and Warrior, and that will be it for the whole update. Um, as I was saying, recharge was not changed and remains at 8 seconds for Melanger's shot. Nothing else interesting for us on the Guild Wars wiki notes. So next time we will talk about Ritualist and Warrior. Quite a lot of interesting changes over there. But that's it for me today. Thank you for watching, and see you to the next video. Thank you.